Hello everyone. As I mentioned initially that the replication controller is replaced by replica set plus deployment. Replica set is whole role is to maintain the number of replicas. Number of replicas. So if I say I need three replicas, the replica set controller will take care of that three replicas any given point of time is running it. Deployment is taking care of the update strategy. So how to upgrade the container image, okay, that is taken care by deployment. So deployment is another API resource in Kubernetes. Okay, it's another type of API resource in Kubernetes. If you go and run this command kubectl, get mm, this thing kubectl. Just give me a second. If you run the command kubectl API-resources and grep for deployment, you will find that okay, deployment is another API resources there. Kind is deployment, D is capital here. F's V1 is there. This is a name resource is there. So this is the API version. Now deployment is having it. What deployment will do is in the deployment.yaml file, in the YAML file of deployment, we will be mentioning how many replicas we needed. Deployment will internally call the replica set, or otherwise I say deployment will internally create the replica set, and replica set will take care of the replication part, and deployment will be having the upgrade strategy. So let's go and see the YAML file. Okay, here you can see it. API version, kind is deployment, metadata, name of the deployment. This particular thing is creating in the particular namespace. How many replicas I needed? 5 replicas. This is the label selector and this is the label definition. So 5 replicas pod will be created. Okay. So first of all, what deployment will do it? Deployment will go and create a replica set internally. In this whole thing, you are not seeing any kind of update strategy is there. Update strategy is the part of deployment only. But if I don't mention any update strategy, it will be by default always rolling update. Two type of native update strategies are available there. Native update strategies are there. One is called rolling update and second is called recreate. We will discuss in detail what is rolling update, what is recreate. Currently update strategy is by default there. Let's go and run the deployment kubectl create -f dev.yaml. This deployment will be created inside the dev namespace. So I'll just show say kubectl describe deployment. Okay, nginx hyphen deployment. If I run this way, it will fail because I have not mentioned the namespace here. Okay, if I run this way, it says not found. I need to mention the namespace equal to dev. Inside this particular namespace, you'll see first deployment has created a replica set. This replica set is creating the replica. Another part which you should observe it is the strategy type. Since I have not mentioned in the YAML file which strategy I want to use it, it is by default rolling update. Rolling update strategy has two parameters. One is called max unavailable and second is called max search, which we will discuss in the upcoming session. Currently, you should observe it. It is created kubectl get deployment. If I go and run it, you'll find this thing get deployment hyphen namespace equal to dev. If I do it, you'll see that okay, it is created a deployment. And similarly, if I go and see the replica set, deployment only has created the replica set. So deployment is taking care of uh, all the things. Deployment internally called the replica set. Replica set creates the replica pod, and deployment will take care of the upgrade strategy using the replica set. Clear? So you guys will be performing the lab which is mentioned in this documentation. This is the lab which you will be performing it out. This is lab number 3 which you will be performing it out. There is a dev.yaml file is there. You will go and get the deployment, get the pod, describe the deployment, see that whether in the deployment which controller is used. So here in the describe event, if you see it here, you will find that okay, deployment.controller is there, but internally it is calling the replica set. Using the replica set, you see read this message, scaled up replica set. This is the replica set 2.5. So basically deployment is only calling the replica set API to create the number of replica. And second part which you should observe in the describe statement is the upgrade strategy type. So if I have not in the YAML file, I have not mentioned anywhere which upgrade strategy I am using it, update strategy I am using it. So if it didn't mention it, it is rolling update always. So by default, it is rolling update. Thank you for joining this session, and let's connect to the next session.